Welcome back to the Kieran Carlin Football Channel. I'm your boy Kieran Carlin, and it's part 2 of this guy fixing every single Premier League home kit via the means of Photoshop. I just spat everywhere, and I'll spit on you again, you filthy lunch-eating bastards. Let's go. Leicester City are up first, and this is their current kit. What I currently hate about it is the collar. That is just vile. It's disgusting. It flaps about when Drewsbury Hall is running around the middle of the pitch. So I destroyed it. I binned it off. And I took their away kit because it's beautiful, and I just made it their home kit. We got the blue. We got the checkered cuffs, which is just gorgeous. Then I made the Saigon bit gold as well, the sleeve sponsor, and that's pretty much it. I think that looks much better. And sometimes I know people would complain if they release like a home kit and an away kit which is just different colors or inverted, but sometimes it's cool. I think in this instance it would be very cool. I think that checkered bit is sick, and I haven't seen that before. Another job done, well done by this guy. I think I definitely do prefer it. Some of these I've made that you'll see later on, I don't think I prefer, but I had to go anyway. Next up is Liverpool, and now their current kit is a bit drab, it's a bit boring, it's dull to be honest, which is probably why they're in 10th. You gotta dress to impress. You gotta dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Dress for the place in the league you want, not for the place that you are. You're 10th, you're crap, and you look like shit. You won't look like shit if you wear this kit. Boom. Nike logo. We've changed it to the classic Nike logo with the little Nike text on it. I think that just looks cool. Everything else pretty much the same, except I've added a white trim to the neckline and the sleeves, and I brightened it up a bit. Right? They've got a really like dark red, and you know what? The world is a dark enough place, and we don't need that. So I brightened it up a bit. Have a smile on your face for once. Cheer yourself up a bit. Wear something bright. I'm wearing all black today because I'm miserable. Next up is my beloved Manchester City. We already have a pretty good kit. There's a couple in here which are just pretty much nailed on from the get-go and don't need any changing, but I've tried it anyway. So this is what I've done. I like the maroon. I really do like the maroon on the current kit, but I tried to channel like the 2009-10 Umbro energy. So I've gone and like, you know, from like the 60s, plain sky blue tee, white collar, white trim on the sleeves. And then I've actually gone for a small sponsor under the badge. And now you might be saying, oh, hold on, Kieran, that is unreasonable. They would never do that, wouldn't they? Well, they did it for our striped sash kit in 2011-12 or no, 2010-11. So why wouldn't they do it now? Boom. Roasted. Alright, I've just shown you up. You're sitting there right now, halfway through a sandwich, like, oh, he's wrong, they wouldn't do that. And then you're like, oh, you just swallowed the truth from this guy, because they would do that, and they've done that before. City, if you just want to holler, and you know, I'll design all the kits. Oh yeah, it's fine. Manchester United up next, and there's a saying, you can't polish a turd. This United kit is vile because it's United. It's actually, in an impartial view, it's all right, to be honest. It's fine. It's got like a 90s sort of vibe to it. So what I did is I did this. Now, you might think, Kieran, that looks worse, and I would agree. So what I've done here is I've removed the weird little shield that the badge is on, because I don't think I like that. And then that looked immediately better. And then I changed the Adidas logo to the new one that will come in from next year. And now I'm sort of getting used to it. That kind of works. And then I added a different collar, a retro collar from a United kit from like the 90s or so, or early noughties. Maybe if it was a better Photoshop, it would look better. Maybe if the Adidas stripes were white, maybe I could have done that. Maybe that would have looked better. But it turns out, as I said earlier, you can't polish a turd. And every United kit is going to look shit and vile to these eyes. It is what it is. I can't help it. I see that badge and I'm like, Newcastle up next. And their kit's, it's a pretty strong kit. But there was a couple of things that I thought I could do to improve it. And improve it I have. So what I've done is made the collar and the cuffs completely black. So it feels more like a black kit with white stripes than a white kit with black stripes. You know what I mean? The primary colour is black, then it has white stripes. It's not a white t-shirt with black stripes. That makes sense in my head, to be honest. It's never 50-50. There's one slightly predominant colour, and I think it should be black for Newcastle's kit. Apart from that, not too much. I've centred the logo, and I've centred the Castore logo, and I think that's pretty good. I think the Newcastle badge is a really good central badge because it's a very symmetrical badge, but then it's got a little bit of asymmetry with a little flag flying over. It just culminates in a beautifully made kit. Let me know what you think about this one. I struggled initially trying to improve this one, but I think I've done a good job. I can imagine this being a pretty cool kit. This is like a Castore version of the current City kit, and I think that would look good. I think Newcastle fans would enjoy this kit. Nottingham Forest up next, and I recall hating this kit. It didn't have a sponsor, but now they're sponsored by the UN. The UN Refugee Agency. So I didn't see that coming, and charity is good. So fair play to Forest. So what I've done here is remove the pattern on the sleeves because it looked like toilet. It looked like absolute toilet. I removed the collar for a, it's not a V-neck. I know I criticise a lot of V-necks. It's not technically a V-neck because when you put it on, it'd be quite high up, quite tight, not like down here sort of thing. I think that would look pretty cool. A little white trim, a little white line, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. I made the colours a bit of a stronger red, a bit more vibrant. I think that's a pretty solid little tweak into a much better looking kit. Let me know your opinion, Nottingham Forest fans. Southampton up next, and this was a much loved kit. A lot of people like this, like the current Southampton kit, but I had a few issues and I've solved all of those issues. Boom, look at that. You might be thinking, okay, there's only a couple little tweaks. Yeah, because it was almost perfect, and now it is. Now it's a 10 out of 10. This would get a 10 out of 10 or a 9.5 or 8 if this was the one that was released. I removed the random graphic. Seems unnecessary. You've got this big block down the middle. You've got enough to look at, and you've got the Hummel on the sleeves. You don't need this graphic. Wildly unnecessary. Apart from that, I changed the Sportsbet.io sponsor graphic because it turns out the Sportsbet.io graphic on the current kit is not their logo. That's just made up because I googled Sportsbet.io logo and that's what came up. A nice centralized one that fits in easy, and most importantly with no Bitcoin logo. You can't be cracking about in the Premier League with a Bitcoin logo on your shirt. Well, we can't have beer sponsors on the shirt anymore, but you can have Bitcoin crypto combined with sports betting. That's mental. Southampton fans, let me know if I've improved the kit, or if you're not a Southampton fan and you just like football kits, which you probably do because you're watching this. Tottenham Hotspur up next, and the problem with Tottenham kits is that it's often just a white kit and it's quite hard to do anything particularly interesting. Tottenham have had bad kits for ages, but this is actually, it's quite a good kit, their current one. But this is what I've done, and I know Spurs fans right now will be like, holy moly. That's what they'll be doing right now, because what they would give to see a Spurs kit without a bright red AIA sponsor. It doesn't blend with anything. Sometimes the juxtaposition is quite nice. However, I'm turning that down because look how much better it is blended. AIA, they're not going to like this. They're going to be, we want our red. That's Arsenal's colour. You can't be doing that. Disgusting. And they've been doing it for years. Almost like a decade now, probably. So I've made that a Tottenham-like navy blue. And apart from that, I added 2 lines. And now usually I am a man who criticises lines, but these particular lines are special lines because they would be the same on the back. So they would come down here as if like some sort of taper. Then all of a sudden, your shirt looks like it's from like the 90s. And that is good. Old is good. 90s is good. Apart from for like, I don't know, diseases and was terrorism bad in the night? Yeah, it was. I mean, it's bad all the time, but I guess here in the 90s, it was pretty bad. But apart from that, music was great. So the 90s were a good time, and I think those lines are an equally good time. Let me know in the comments down below if you like 90s lines, which is a different thing if you said that in the 90s, because that doesn't mean lines on the t-shirt. West Ham up next, and the current kit is a homage to a previous old like 80s West Ham kit. Awful. I can't stand this, and the collar's just too big, too tall. It's like a polo neck. You're like Steve Jobs walking out, but alive. So I binned that off. Okay, removed them. I made the badge simple. In the same way that Arsenal keep having a little cannon on their badge, I thought irons, I'd go just the irons. Made it gold. That's good, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's actually meant to be yellow on the West Ham badge anyway, so, or yellowy gold, so kept it that colour. I turned the Umbro logo to the same blue as the cuff and the sleeves. I made the cuff and the sleeves smaller. And then I took the 90s Adidas taping, which was on some England kits, and I added it. Boom. Boom. Look how much better that is than that. It's almost rude to compare them, to be honest, because this masterpiece that I've made, it's all over that one. Let me know, West Ham fans, down below. Now for a final kit, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, the problem with Wolverhampton Wanderers is that I hate them, they're tacky, and they're ugly. This is their current kit. Vile. Disgusting. Castor. Please. No more. This was a tough kit to make good, because there's so many factors which make it a bad kit. Why is there just random red on there? Don't be having red on there. You can't have red, orange and black. Vile. Like a Watford shirt that's been left in the damp. And this is how I've solved one of the ugliest kits in the Premier League. Boom. Castore off the sleeves. You don't get three. You're dog shit. You get one. There. I've then saturated the orange. I've crunched it down. Absolutely crunched it into a nice burnt orange. Not a cat shit orange like it is normally. A burnt orange. I've made these sleeves not look like shit by having the white and black trim go all the way round. I've removed the random black bits at the bottom of the shirt, because why? I've removed the random black lines at the top that just go across, because why? And I've given it a colour which just matches, which isn't just randomly different for no reason, and also just doesn't look like shit. Just a nice round neck collar. This is pretty much a orange version of the City kit from like 2013-14, and I think you'll agree that this would be a really nice Wolves kit. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree with my fixes, or if you hate me and you think I'm scum. I've been your boy Kieran, and I will see you in the next one. I was trying to think of a sign off. What can I do? City, you're innocent.